for today, I guess this is a not we're all here together broadcast, I'm pretty much just going to sit here and I'm going to practice tuning my being to different sensations. Morning, y'all. And perhaps, oh man, so many peeps though, perhaps create like a vibration that's you can catch it, like make a wave you can catch. So if you're operating a vehicle, I'd probably not watch this, whether I was talking or closing my eyes. And if you're at home and it's possible, allow yourself to relax a little bit more into your body. And that means pretend that where you're sitting or standing can hold the entirety of your weight. So allow yourself to like kind of slump into or onto the surface that you're on, and see if you can become aware of your lungs and your heart and your belly and your feet and your skin, and maybe like 2 or 3 inches of the air the whole way around you. And we'll start to slow down breathing a little bit and let it be a kind of passive. So you can almost like if you were pushing a kid on a swing, you kind of get like a good push and then it'll move on its own. So see if you can find like a good push with your breath that starts to move it on its own. And what I'm going to do is imagine, I use visuals a lot when I'm working with my own energy field let me give you the visual I use to connect with a refreshing vibration. So kind of like plugging in. So this is me in an energy field. And what I'm going to imagine is that God or one of his main squeezes brings a lemonade style pitcher of water full of purple and deep blue and white light sparkles, and it's just going to pour in the top here. And as it pours in the top, it's going to flush out and wash off anything that doesn't match anymore or isn't needed. So one way that I think about my energy field is like, it's almost like, you've got your hair and your skin and your clothes, and just through your living, they get a little bit dirty, and you need to take time to kind of wash them off essentially and bring them back to a state. It's kind of like tidying your house. Even if you're not walking around making messes, it still gets messy. And so the idea with your energy field is kind of the same, where you want to like tidy it up every now and then. And I am Reiki level, I think I'm Reiki level 1 and 2. And so there's also an element of like attunement to like, I want to say basically, This is new space for me. I usually don't talk about energy directly, so my vocab for it is just the stuff that I make up for myself, the images I make up for myself. I don't have the science for it. Maybe if I grab my basics physics book right over here, I could give you some of the more scientific words, but and I don't know if that even applies to Reiki. The way that I think about Reiki is, we've got I think of vibration kind of like those Chinese lanterns where you make slits in a paper and then you can push it down and you've got these different slats. So it's kind of got like different vibrations, different slats, and you can, from what I can tell, we have all slats, all vibrations at all times, and then you can activate them in different ways, and one way to do that is to kind of be reminded of it by somebody else. And so to me, Reiki and some of the things I'm going to do right now are just like reminding you of your own vibration, and the ones that I'm wanting to offer, like I said, are pouring in through the top and are, let's say, of like a higher, pure nature, and that they're not identified with the small self. They're not associated with the fear that we have or can have being in our bodies as humans. So now we have the pitcher and it's pouring in the refreshing energy, and I think that's enough talking. And so I'm a little awkward here because I never did this one before, but we'll do our best. So I started by kind of cueing you into your body and asking you to relax more of your weight into your seat or where you're standing, and to start to become aware of your organs. So much of our awareness is on our thoughts, is on the room around us, is on the past, is on the future. And what I'm asking is you kind of bring it in and try to feel the outline of your organs, just like if you were reaching into a bag and trying to find the outline of something. Like, see if you can find the outline of your heart, the outline of your lungs with your awareness. Try to like feel the edges of it. Where is it? And then look for any kind of tension that might be in there. When you find the tension, let it melt. I think it's also helpful to imagine that you're drawing a circle, at basically wherever your arms are, and you're giving yourself permission to only be within the circle for this period of time. And we'll do about 5 minutes, more or less, teaching the technique. So allow yourself to create your circle, and for this period of time, let it be okay that your mind isn't crawling all those other places, all those other responsibilities, all those other people, all those other things. For right now, you're just going to be within your circle. So we've given our weight to our seats. We've brought awareness to our organs. The skin is an organ. See if you can find and feel your skin. And then tease it out a little, so you're also trying to feel the air around it, or even the air in the circle that you created for yourself. We're just going to start to breathe a little bit more slowly and deeply. And so this is I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to go into this place and imagine this bright, pure, refreshing light that is beyond ideas of the ego. The ego is the one that's like, am I going to be okay? Is this enough? Where am I going? What is this? I'm pouring in the light that knows, the light that is. And I'm kind of intending, which is sort of the same thing, ain't it? To offer that as a reminder that you too can tap into those feelings. The refreshing, the awareness of who you are. Okay, ready? So silence is, as far as I can tell, the highest prayer, in that you are approaching God without ideas of what would be, without ideas, period. And in that there is communion with the state of I am. Our thinking originates from a place of a personal perspective. There is, all of our thinking implies underlying assumptions. It's all built on ideas. And when you are praying from a place, or meditating or asking from a place with words, you take all of your assumptions with you and essentially continue, like you underline them. It's almost like in the asking of can I have, or can I be, or will it be, you are underlying the state that it is not. And because this is kind of like a game of tuning, when you do that, it's almost counterproductive. And this to me is the Einstein quote of, you can't solve the problem on the level it was created. Vibrationally, you take with you all those assumptions when you come into prayer with kind of like, I need, I am, I ask. And it's not to say don't allow those things. It's just remembering that there is kind of a leap from the ask to the end state, where you surrender the question, you surrender all the things associated with it. You put down, you let go, you let God, and step into that end state of like, I am, safety, love, relief, peace, being. It's a sensation of being. And when I'm practicing meditating, that's really all I'm doing, is remembering that inherent state of like completeness, of wholeness, where there's nothing to ask for as I am. And while we kind of sat here, or I sat here to create that connection, you can do it in line at the grocery store. You can do it when you, just an instantaneous Course in Miracles really emphasizes kind of like the holy instant. Like it only takes a moment to connect with what is true, and that is that you are essentially this in your own unique way, shape, or form. And the ideas that you have are what holds you a part of that awareness. Not that you need to establish the connection. You only need to remove the ideas that you aren't. So, like I said, I've never really sat up here and done this before. It took me a minute to find my words, try to say what I was trying to say. If this isn't helpful for you, I think I'm leaning towards more embodiment practices, having been on the spiritual quest full time, and by that I mean the pursuit of Christ consciousness and the I am awareness. What I thought was real funny is that at the end, like, I'm still here as me, and that really, as far as I can tell, a lot of the spiritual journey, a lot of the tools that we're using, at a whatever level that we're reaching for those tools at, whether we're reaching for those tools as someone who is like intent or has an intention to heal, or we're reaching for those tools as someone, who wants to have a new relationship or whatever it is. Where was I going? Oh, all of it is the tool is to come here as yourself, in peace, in relief, in those feelings that are in that lemonade pitcher that you can pour in at any time. And I think the journey is to that awareness, to the awareness that state is now, that state is here. And of course, there is growth and there's change and there are, there's creation and there's expansion. There are all of these things, and yet this is what is. This is what is in the core of all of that. And from what I can tell, building your foundation around this awareness then allows for you to make choices that yield results, that yield circumstances that are correct for you, because you're not compromising, you're not coming at it thinking, you know, I'll get this from that, so I'll surrender. Like this is your natural state. And if it's not adding to that, then it's not correct for you. And I think if we're coming at things without this awareness, it's easy to select things that aren't correct for you in hopes that it will bring you that. We're generally trying to get everything. It's like Baltimore Horcruxes. Like we're looking for what we are. Like we're trying to assemble ourselves using other people, achievements, places, etc. When you have always had yourself, you've never not been there. So the spiritual journey to me is kind of funny in those ways. And like, it's the quotes that are like, don't forget what you're looking for is what is looking. And yes, today's meditation was just, I try to teach or explain, demonstrate, illustrate how I can create an environment to remember those feelings myself and to tap into them. Feedback and all the other stuff is always welcome. I love to take requests off the hotline. If you have something that's on your mind, heart, or to-do list, I'm interested. Thank you everybody for coming, and I hope you have a beautiful day.